So, this question has been making rounds all over social media for a very long time. It's all about Bukayo Saka. Is he a world-class player or he's not a world-class player? You know, these arguments have been here for the previous 1 or 2 seasons, and today one of the England legends, football legend players, and a Man United legend at Leeds, legend at West Ham, that is Rio Ferdinand, has come out and really spoken out as to whether he thinks this guy is a legend or not. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and I hope you guys are really having a fantastic stay wherever you are. And this is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. Now, we are here to bring you stories concerning Tchouameni. Guys, you know, on this channel, we've gone ahead to really put out Man United, Liverpool, and Arsenal all interested in signing Tchouameni. But there is a position that Tchouameni is good at that we never knew that he can play it. And guess what? Tonight, he has been playing as a centre-back as Real Madrid were playing away in Leipzig. And they've gone ahead to win that game, 1-0. They've gone ahead to keep a clean sheet. Don't you think that this is another adventure that this guy's gonna hate to do with Tchouameni? And lastly, Phil Foden has gone ahead and obviously given Kevin De Bruyne his flowers. He has gone ahead and obviously unmasked what we call the magic in between these 3 players. So let's see close to 200 likes making this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And it's all about us coming in here to really give you the best that you guys deserve. Now let's get into these stories. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and we want to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of this month. So guys, continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. You know, Rio Ferdinand has a channel known as Vibe with 5, and he has gone ahead obviously get us the best that we deserve as a side of the Rokani Media Football. He was asked on if he considers Bukayo Saka a world-class player. He said, not yet. Listen, I think Saka's been unreal. I actually think he needs a bit of a rest. So many games for a young kid, but I think it's almost like, what is world-class? Yeah, that's the big question. He hasn't done it. He hasn't done it in the Champions League. Has he? I'm talking in the nitty-gritty stages. Saka's top. Don't get me wrong. He's not world-class yet. So, this question has been bubbling around, and I've gone ahead to see people calling Saka world-class. I'll tell you, Saka is a good player. He's a good player. In the Premier League, he has gone ahead to do it for 2 consecutive seasons, because last season he had to put in 14 goals and some assists. Even this season is now having 10 goals and I think 8 assists in the Premier League. It shows you how far he has gone ahead, obviously, be consistent in the Premier League. But what makes you a world-class player is consistency. World-class, by the way, doesn't really mean that a player is extremely talented. It's all about a player being consistent. For example, I'll tell you that if Gabriel Magalhaes continues to obviously play like that at Arsenal for the next 3-4 seasons, or 2 seasons, he's going to be a world-class player. But when I talk about flamboyant, talented players, he cannot come close to Saliba. You get? Players, what people don't understand is, you can be world-class because of your consistency, yet you are not talented. You get? For example, I want to give you some examples that you guys need to know about such players that were world-class, but their talent was not all that huge. Didier Drogba, he was world-class, but could you put him in the same ilk with Samuel Eto'o, Ronaldo Dalima, talk about Nzagi Super People, Shevchenko, and very many others that used to be scorers in those days? Thierry Henry, you couldn't put... When you're talking about talent, there is no you could put Thierry Henry and Drogba in the same statement. But because Drogba came out and obviously put in what we call consistency at all levels, he went ahead to obviously turn world class. So look at Harry Kane. If you're to talk about center forwards that are really talented, Harry Kane is not among. Talking about pure talent, I'm talking about strikers like Lewandowski. I'm talking about strikers like Thierry Henry. I'm talking about players like Trezeguet, You know, I'm talking about strikers like Edison Cavani, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. That is the talent I'm really talking about, you know. So when you're to talk about players like those, talent-wise, they're really good and they're world-class because of their consistency. But to make you a world-class player, you have to be consistent. That's what Ferdinand is obviously hinging a lot on, that he needs to see more and more players coming. He needs to see more and more of Bukayo Saka. And trust me, Bukayo Saka now has 2 more seasons. You know, if he continues to perform like this in the Premier League, and he continues to obviously shine in the Champions League, because as I know, Saka has gone ahead to obviously put up some good numbers in the Champions League, because this is the first time he's playing in the Champions League. At the age of 22, he has gone ahead to play 6 games, I think, in the Champions League, and he has played 5 with 3 goals and 4 assists. So 7 goal involvements. That is really good. If you can take Arsenal to the quarterfinal and really score like 10 goals, that will be good. Next season, that won't be a very bad start for him to come in through and really put in that shift as a player. So I think the 2 next seasons of Bukayo Saka are really good are really important. When you see him at the English national team, he played in the Euro finals and he was really very pivotal for the English national team, though he missed a penalty. Then, when you consider his performances at Arsenal, they're really good. So it's all about matter of time. And 2 seasons later, if he keeps himself putting in this effort, trust me, Saka will become world class. But he's a very good player. Not all that talented, but his consistency is really what is going to make him that player that has been drawn into this conversation on whether he's a world class or not. Because when you look at Trossard and his talent, Trossard is more talented than Bukayo Saka. But the difference is, things that Trossard is doing in his late 20s are things that Bukayo Saka is doing in his early 20s. So that shows you that Bukayo Saka has a high ceiling to obviously turn out into a better player in as far as stats are really concerned, So we wait and see how that pans out. But I really understand that very many Arsenal fans are going to come out and fume. Saka is a world-class player. For me, I really agree with Rio Ferdinand. As per now, he is not yet world-class, but he's on that journey, walking towards becoming world-class as a player. So I really wait and see how that's going to pan out for this guy, that is Bukayo Saka. But I really believe he's a very good player, and consistency is what makes you world-class. I think Arsenal, let me talk about the players, that you guys know about. Alex Sanchez reached a level in his world class. Mesut Ozil was world class. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was world class. That is it. Which other player? Who else was world class at Arsenal by that time? Santi Cazorla was world class. He was world class. He was really world class. So Robin van Persie was world class. Cesc Fabregas was world class. Thierry Henry was world class. Patrick Vieira was world class. Perez was world class. Sami Nasri, I think he never really reached that world class level, because I think if he stayed at Arsenal, he would have gone ahead to get more playing time and really get better. But at Man City, things never went on well as planned, and he really saw himself really lose. I think there is this defender, Vermaelen, was world class. Vermaelen was really world class. Right now, I think if you talk about world class, Thomas Partey is world class. Jorginho is world class. Saliba is like 1 or 2 seasons away from obviously getting that world class level, because we need to see more 2 seasons of Saliba. If he continues performing very well at that level, then he will be world class. Martinelli also, if he continues to be consistent for the next 2 seasons, he's gonna be world class. You get? Gabriel Jesus, world class. Zinchenko, world class. Who else is world class at Arsenal? I might have gone ahead to forget really one. If Julian Timber really came in and really played very well this season, I think At Ajax, he showed us that has been consistent. At the Dutch national team, has going to hit to put in very good performances in there for you. So Arsenal has some world-class players. That is it. Kai Havertz, he has been blowing hot and cold, but he has the potential to be world-class, especially if at all he continues doing that. But I think Saka is on his way to being a world-class player, and I think 2 next seasons of him are really gonna be pivotal. That is it. So thank you very much for watching through. Smash the like button, comment and share. Hope Arsenal fans are gonna hit to enjoy this conversation, but I know you will obviously get to know. I know I cannot really be on the same side with most of you. Some of you will come in through and really say Rokani, Saka is world class, because I did a video yesterday about Arteta hailing him, and most of you said, I know we don't rate. I rate Saka, I rate him, but there are certain things I disagree with you. I rate Bukayo Saka, but I don't think that he is at a level that most Arsenal fans believe he is. And this question came in through to Rio Ferdinand on his YouTube channel after Saka had gone ahead to score 2 goals and taking his tally to 10 in the Premier League. So he's really having 13 goals this season, right? And assists, he's having 5. I think he's having 14 goals, 10 in the Premier League and 4 in the Champions League, and some 5 assists in the Champions League and 5 in the Premier League. So he's having double figures of assists and goals in the season. So that is really good for him. He just needs to keep doing that, and doing that. That is it. So let's go to Tchouameni and what Ancelotti is going to have to say about him being played as a centre-back in the game of Real Madrid versus RB Leipzig. That I'm going to have to see Real Madrid beat RB Leipzig by 1-0 away in Germany. He has said, Tchouameni, a new centre-back? He said, I told him he played there because it was an emergency. Now I have to find another excuse to play him there. Let's see. He understands very well what the team needs. He's spectacular at centre-back. It seems he has always played there. Very smart player. That is all about Tchouameni. And Tchouameni is a very good player. He is one of those that Arsenal is going to have to try to sign. Man United, while he was still at Monaco, tried to obviously convince him to come to their side. He chose Real Madrid over them. Liverpool wanted to sign this player, and they even tried to obviously convince him to come to join them as a replacement of Fabinho, but he stood hard with the side of Real Madrid. Remember last season, he never really had enough playing minutes at Real Madrid. That really caused a lot of mayhem that he might leave the side of Real Madrid. But finally, he's into the team. Their midfield trio, Jude Bellingham, Tchouameni, and Camavinga has gone ahead to do wonders for the side of Real Madrid. But today he was played in the central defense because their central defense is really lacking. No Alaba, no Rudiger. There is this other Brazilian guy that really got an ACL. He's not Nacho. I've forgotten his name. But their central defenders are really ill, So he had to drop deep into the central defense. And the beauty of him playing in the central defense was he was going to have to keep a clean sheet. For any defender and goalkeeper, your flowers should be given to you when you keep a clean sheet. So for him playing in the central defense for the very first time at Real Madrid, he was going to have to obviously surprise many. But for me as Rokani David, I'm not surprised because I know the ability of people. I know the ability of CDMs. Every CDM has to be able to play into the centre-back position. I've seen Declan Rice played in the central defense at Arsenal when Arsenal was playing away in PSV. I've seen Frankie de Jong played as a defender at Barcelona. I've seen Casemiro played as a central defender at Man United. I've seen Rodri played as a central defender at Man City. Even at Spain, they play him as a central defender. I saw Liverpool play Fabinho in the CDM area. What other team was going to have to play? Thomas Partey, you see him being the right back sometimes. So most of the CDMs have the potential to play as centre backs, and he is going to have to play it very well. And that is going to have to elevate his career to that level. And maybe even Deschamps will look at it and say, all right, because I'm having very many CDMs at France, Camara, you are having, there is Somare, they are having Rabiot, There is N'Golo Kante, I think, is out of that team. There is Fofana. So they're really having very many CDMs at that side, you know, and they might really look through on really dropping this guy deep into the central defense, especially when they're really needing to orchestrate something out of the team. Lastly, Phil Foden has come out and really spoken about Kevin De Bruyne. He said, me and Kevin De Bruyne have made the connection. It's about building connections. It's natural. It's important to have Kevin De Bruyne back because he's so important for us. There is no better player at passing the ball. He's so important for us. Trust me, he's the best passer of the ball in this world. You know, he reminds me of Paul Scholes. He reminds me of Xavi. He reminds me of Pirlo. But I think he's more of a Pirlo player. Pirlo was, to me, he's the best passer of the ball that I've ever gone ahead to see. He did things that you thought are easy, but to show you that they're really hard, it was only him who went ahead to do them. Today, Kevin De Bruyne has gone ahead to provide a brace of assists and scored the opening goal as they beat Copenhagen by 3 goals to 1. So he's really back, fired up, and other players at Man City are really good. So guys, tell me your thoughts about Saka. Ferdinand's take on Saka being a world-class player or not. Do you think Saka is world-class or not? What do you make about Kevin De Bruyne being hailed by Foden and Tchouameni being played as a centre-back, and his first attempt in that position has registered 100% success as Real Madrid have gone ahead to keep a clean sheet? May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. Don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I'm out. Bye-bye.